Good morning, candidates. Those who are appearing for interview, very important point. Fed, that is Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve. I'm just turn off incognito, and I'm going to my channel. Channel. And U.S. Federal Reserve increases rate. Fed delivers third straight big hike, sees more increases ahead. Fed Reserve signaled more large increases to come to new projections showing its policy rate raising to 4.4% by the end of this year before topping out at 4.6% in 2023 to battle continued strong inflation. But now the position is like this. This is Mr. Federal Reserve Board Chairman Jerome Powell. Federal Reserve officials raised interest rate today by 75 basis points. That's in USA, 21st September. 75 basis points. They are likely to increase it to up to 4.6% by 2023. And this decision, which was unanimous, takes the target range for the benchmark federal funds rate to 3% to 3.25%, the highest level since, say, 2008 financial crisis, and up from near zero at the start of this year. Officials expect the benchmark rate to rise to 4.4% by year end and 4.6% during 2023, according to median estimate in updated quarterly projections. Further, ahead rates were seen stepping down to 3.9 in 2024 and 2.9 in 2025. That is for the periods to come. Right now, the rate has been increased by 75 basis points. Now, United States Central Bank 75 basis point interest rate hike marks a significantly higher uptick in lending rates from pandemic lows than seen in many other countries. The American Central Bank's latest rate hike marks a cumulative 3%, that is 300 basis point increase from its pandemic low. This is a higher cumulative increase than has been seen in the United Kingdom, the Eurozone, and South Korea, among others, including India. India has seen 140 basis points increase. Brazil has seen 1,175 percentage point increase in its benchmark interest rate. It has been 325 basis points for Russia. China's interest rates are still headed down amid economic distress. South Korea, South Africa, and United Kingdom have all seen increases of more than 150 basis points, while Eurozone has seen 125 basis points increase. The analysis used on interest rates and inflation numbers collated from central banks of major economies. The surge in the commodity prices and supply chain issues have resulted in higher inflation across much of the globe. It's been seeing a rise on higher energy costs. The latest inflation figure for the Eurozone was 9.1%. It was 8.3% in the United States of America. Many large economies have a higher inflation rate than India. There have been concerns over India's inflation index not being upgraded to reflect the latest consumption patterns. Central banks use higher interest rates to control inflation. Inflation can broadly be defined as too much money chasing too few goods. Good definition. Higher interest rates make money more scarce, which reduces inflation.
it can also negatively impact growth. Sharp interest rate increases in developed market like USA may affect the global economy, which is already facing growth headwinds. According to September 20 Asia Pacific Insight report from Global Financial Services Group, Morgan Stanley, the US Federal Reserve was seen to have signaled readiness to raise rates as high as would be required to control inflation. In essence, this means sacrificing growth near term to bring inflation back under control, a process which runs the risk of triggering a global recession, especially when growth in the Eurozone and China is already so weak, said the report authored by quantitative strategist Gilbert Wong and equity strategist Jonathan Garner, Daniel Blake, and Crystal Ng. India's inflation figure of 7% for August was slightly higher than expected, according to September 13 India Economic Watch report from financial services major Bank of America Corporation. The index of industrial production, other indicators suggest a slowdown, which makes the Reserve Bank of India's September 30 decision on rate hikes all that much tougher. Inflation trajectory, but does not offer much comfort. Activity indicators seem to be losing momentum, as highlighted by IIP data. This naturally deepens the dilemma for RBI, said the report from BofA Securities. They expect RBI to raise rates by 25 to 35 basis points on September 30. The inflation numbers are expected to rise further to 7.4% according to the duo, amid an unfavorable base effect. Yeah, this is what it is. This article is very important for people appearing for interview today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and all that. Please read this once, twice, and update your knowledge so that you can share the information in the interview. The definition of inflation given here is also very good. Thank you so much, candidate.